Yeah, I'm with Panda. I'm pretty good on water. Mogwai.
Lemonade. Mom's lemonade.
Okay, we can't do this over. We can't compete with them. They're too good at stalling, Mogwai. So we're gonna be getting into this game in just a moment. I actually feel like DrHippi may be favorable, though. I know the panel was kind of thinking of Hyped, and don't get me wrong, I think Hyped is top 5 in this tournament.
I know blue-green has been absolute trash up until this point, like in this top 16. But I think Hyped may be the saving grace of this archetype, and I think he's going, to perform well, and he's gonna showcase off that how this deck is actually extremely dangerous. And I expect blue-green to get at least one win personally. Maybe I'm crazy, but this list did dominate yesterday.
If there's anyone who can do it, I think it might be Hyped. DrHippi has a very powerful variance of the list to be able to counter it. You know what I'd love to see in DrHippi's list, particularly, even more so than in the Life Coach kind of 3 red variant, I'd love to see a Soul of Spring here, because not only is Drow a good target for Soul of Spring, but Lycan is as well, because you're able to keep the units picking up the buffs on the side, like melee creep spawn next to Lycan, you can keep them alive, and they get the plus attack as well.
I mean, defensive proactive plays on Lycan are just generally very good. Not only Solar Spring, but also I'm a big fan of, I know you like this card too, Defend the Weak.
Yes.
And I love playing Defend the Weak on Lycan. It just feels really good. It feels strong. It feels like a good investment. So, yeah, I would have liked to see that card too. I also would have liked to see some Burning Oil action, because that definitely was good for JJ. But we saw, with the Life Coach versus Lumi matchup that you don't really need that card to win.
You don't always need it.
Yeah, so it's going to be interesting. I was more impressed by Hyped gameplay yesterday than DrHippi, personally. Even though I know DrHippi is a very solid player who's been prevalent in the beta and such, but it's gonna be intriguing to see how this one plays out, because it seems like this variant of red-green may be able to push damage quicker because of Lycan. I'm not sure.
It's very possible. Now I gotta say, one thing I'm very curious about is what caused Hyped to change his list, because I'm personally in the camp, as the panel mentioned, that I like the Swarm variants. It was talked about like Game King was playing a deck like this before this tournament. Hyped also very much favored it. The Swarm ramp variant that didn't run Salamene. You run Mist of Avernus, you run Dimensional Portal, and powerful proactive plays. I know Hyped was also in that camp of liking that deck as well. And something made him change his mind. So let's get into this first game here.
Let's take a look at it.
Maybe we'll find out.
Alrighty, here we go. Full-on blue hand for Hyped right there, with Kana in lane 1, exactly where you want her to be. Double Settlement in his favor in DrHippi's hand alongside Cheating Death. Oh, boy.
A good opening hand there if you're DrHippi.
Turn 1, Diabolic Revelation. You don't always see that right there. Drawing into at any cost and Annihilation himself. Is this... it's a 2-of with Hyped. Okay, at any cost. Interesting. Okay.
Yep, this is an amazing Diabolic Revelation board. We see 2 melee creeps spawning on either side of Triad, so the armor does protect him from the damage, and this Zeus is getting plowed by the axe anyway, so the Revelation doesn't really impact the board that much. Definitely like the
it does give a 2-turn timer onto this Triad though. Yeah. Which is, it's something to consider for sure. But I guess Hyped really wanted the card draw there and opted to go for that, risky play at the beginning. And he's going to deploy Drow onto lane 1 alongside Kana, as we see another Drow Ranger deployment available for DrHippi. Oh, third lane. Interesting.
So it's going to be a hard choice for DrHippi here. He's got a ton of great options, and initiative is on his side left. You could favor into a rider lane to set up a Cheating Death potential this turn, but you also really like Roseleaf Druid. You can play it to the right of Lycan, pick up his buff, and potentially kill one of Kana's melee creeps if they're going to the right side. We'll have to see how these spawn positions go.
But DrHippi opting to go for Drow Ranger on the first lane. Basically, either first lane to contest Kana or third lane to support Axe and have the ability to play 3 green 4-mana plays this turn were the options to consider. And DrHippi seems to be prioritizing the ability to contest Kana's lane the best.
I gotta say, I think this is a really, really risky deployment for Hyped. Now, typically, one thing you want to do with this deck, just kind of the rule of thumb, and there are exceptions, but the rule of thumb is you want to deploy Drow into the Kana lane where she'll be safer, and you kind of develop blue and green together. Feels very good. We're going against the Axe here. Now, he managed to dodge the matchup, but without a specific way to defend this lane as green, you might be better off giving it up.
And I'm telling you, man, this turn 1 Diabolic Revelation is going to be punished. This 2 damage onto Treant Protector is going to make it go down this turn in this exchange, and gonna make Hype lose presence, especially considering he is in a mirror situation here. So losing his Triad one turn earlier is very impactful.
Well, but you do have the Ignite potentially. If the
Yeah.
Cloak doesn't get played on the Treant here, which it's not, the Ignite will make that an even trade on both Treants.
And actually better for Hyped,
Yeah.
because you'll get the upkeep kill on it. So that's true.
And he had the opportunity to gain 2 cards. I mean, the Diabolic Revelation, it's extremely powerful even if it does incur like some kind of proper downside.
That does force you to play Ignite on a lane that's not Kana's, right? Generally, you do want to prioritize Kana's lane for Ignite, but it's still very solid there.
As the kind of player, just for play on the week,
Yeah.
there are definitely, I think it depends on your hands, but we're going to see that happen
going
here,
for
yeah.
that.
And I do like play on the week. Next turn here, potentially we're looking at 4 damaged units, potentially more.
Why do you think Hyped opted not to go for the Agony Sanctum here?
Presumably, I'm honestly not sure. He could have played it here. I think he doesn't want to commit it yet. There is this idea of potentially when playing this deck, waiting for the Stars Line Gust to even play Sanctum, right? So Sanctum is when you've got the Salamena in hand and when you've got the Stars Line in hand, check this out, you're waiting for the Gust draw, right? Once you draw Gust, it doesn't matter whether you play this in advance or not, because this only function this serves is being able to basically get back to 9 mana for the Salamena, and then you've got infinite mana anyway, so playing it early doesn't matter, right?
Yeah, that's
we
true.
see Smash
That's
the
true.
Defenses on the side of DrHippi. No red on this side right now, which is kind of what you're saying, but at the same time, Legion's deploying next turn. This can just stay in the hand until the Salamena is ready to come down.
Yeah, I honestly, I like that reasoning. Here we see you draw Ranger in lane 3. Axe and the Metal Creep going to push for 11 damage, and
Duel is an option.
Duel is most definitely an option. He's going to take so much. Like, Hype is very, very threatening here. He does have 2 blue heroes on deployment, but he's still 1 turn behind Annihilation, so restabilizing there is not going to be easy. It may warrant either at any cost or Prey on the Weak from Hyped. And we do see the turn 2 duel onto Drow Ranger from DrHippi there.
Definitely an aggressive duel. I think in a lot of matchups you probably can't be using it like that. Blue has ways of stabilizing, but you got to kill this deck fast. And this right lane looks like your secondary win condition after left, because mid is just not really being pushed out for DrHippi.
Yeah, I agree. I think Ogre may just go to the third lane. And I do like bringing Zeus over here. You do need static field to try to stabilize this lane even better. This at any cost, though, if Zeus spawns in the proximity of Drow Ranger, this at any cost is beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. If this Legion Commander goes onto the left of Drow Ranger, oh my god.
Well, one interesting thing about at any cost, and Hypes knows this as well as a very good player, it actually doesn't matter where the spawn is, because the we see
because
the
it'll
Ignite
move.
triggering.
It'll move. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Zeus's passive triggers after everything resolves on the board.
true.
I expect to see Hyped is aware of this. At any cost here, Drow slides to the right of Zeus or to the left of Zeus, and then you see the static field triggering, killing her right then and there. And if the Legion Commander had spawned close by, there it is.
There it
exactly
is.
that play. So you can
Beautiful.
tell, Hyped, a very, very veteran player, would always be able to see a play like that.
Beautiful at any cost. Therefore, Hyped also getting him some nice gold, which this blue-green deck does struggle obtaining sometimes. And an excellent way to slow down DrHippi on this first lane. That at any cost was so powerful.
You do see a pretty good demagicking maul opportunity here for DrHippi. Fairly rare that, I mean, whenever you can get this off for value, it feels good.
Yeah.
And this keeps Legion out of the range of Ignite plus Static Field next turn.
Yeah, exactly. Still having all 7 mana available, but no true optimal play here for DrHippi. You don't want to waste your Berserker's Call and basically sacrifice your Legion Commander just to get rid of Zeus. So we're going to see in lane 2, there's no play available for Hyped. We see Cheating Death and Sailmaker Spheres are basically removal, ramp, and removal prevention. So I'm not sure if we'll see. Yeah, because you definitely do want to take one Berserker's Call, I think, on this lane to push more damage. But you need initiative. Yeah?
Yeah. I think you have to do that next turn.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But right now, a very awkward thing for Hyped is Ogre spawning immediately into Axe and having no health item, despite having gold at this point in the game, having no health item to be able to keep the Ogre alive. This Ogre needed to spawn somewhere else or have a cunning plan or something. This is really, really nasty for Hyped, because this means the Kana will have to come down for the Annihilation.
Yeah, and that just feels really bad. Down goes Cheating Death on the middle lane.
Interesting.
Yeah.
This might indicate DrHippi plans on playing for this lane moving forward. I think it's actually possible this was not the best place to put this. It's kind of the best right now because this is where the green hero's presence is, but this is not the lane you're going to want this to be in 2 turns from now. I mean, you've got 2 green heroes deploying later. This might be a bit of a short-term play.
Yeah, especially considering the fact that you haven't been able to push any sort of damage on that second tower. And this tower is really close to just getting knocked out, going down to half its original health. And there's nothing Hyped can do about that. And the first lane, you already have ramp there, so you're definitely going to be investing into this. And he does have initiative for there as well. But 3 heroes incoming for Hyped. This is a turn for him to stabilize. He has to find a way to stabilize here with these 3 heroes. But he only has 1 blue available, which, as you said, will... Oh, he's going all in. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, so a bit of an interesting play here by Hyped. He does have the potential on this turn, mana 6, to be able to go off with Incarnation. Now, you do need Gust for this to work as well as it wants to, typically. Gust kind of makes this combo perfect. The 6 mana turn, I mean, if he's able to top deck Gust and DrHippi does not respect it with the Berserker's Call turn 1 play, the Call has the opportunity to take out Tree and Zeus and damage the Kana down really low.
Still cannot prevent this if he does draw into Gust.
There it is. That's huge.
Oh, and a double. Why not?
So this is the perfect mana turn if you're Hyped. You're very happy. Look at Hyped's face right now. He's so happy. Look at this. The Gust
He's ready with joy.
Gust down to 2 mana, Stars Align up to 4, Sanctum, and then tap Sanctum, and since Stars Align gives you 3 max, up to 9, Incarnation to curve, and then you've got the rest of your hand unlocked. So this is just the perfect mana 6 turn combo. But Hippie can make this a little bit more awkward by at least starting with something like a Berserker's Call, considering Spring the Trap.
Or even setting up the Hourglass at least to deny any sort of card draw and also make his Legion more resilient so that static field cannot, you know, knock that out in 2 plays. So we may see, okay, there's a Berserker. That stops the possibility of Hourglass though, and there's nothing to stop this. He doesn't even need to Gust here.
Yeah, you don't Gust anymore now that this is played. So Hyped can just start going off.
There it is.
Sanctum, Stars, tap, and then you just start playing your tools. You can just start setting up some Ignites. You're not really afraid of this card dying, the Incarnation of Salamene. Of course, coming out at a very healthy 11. That just doesn't get shut down. And then if you're Hyped, you probably want to take the Arcane Assault for initiative as well, just in case nothing gets played across here, because you really want initiative next turn left.
Ooh, that's a good Ignite right there, threatening the Triad Protector.
He'll double down on that as well. The Triad Protector will be dying. And this just goes back to the cheating death here. I mean, mid is just not really the lane to fight for. It's the lane he had the green hero in at the time, but in the future, and Hyped, it doesn't even care enough about mid lane to put the second Ignite here, even though it doubles the odds of the Triad dying.
The problem is he does lack the ability to push lethal on this tower, despite getting the Incarnation of Salamene combo off. And we see a Blink Dagger on 2 Kana.
Yep. You could try to take the Blink on the right side. I mean, right now is your lose condition, so as long as Hyped can secure right, his Salamene will basically win him left lane every time. He's got the Ogre redeploying left to reestablish the blue presence left you need. Let's see if this Trian eats it. It stays up.
Denied. But here's the thing. The red-green does not have any way of immediately impacting this. There's no Slay.
Exactly.
Its health is way too high for Berserker's Call to eliminate it. He doesn't even have a hero deployment in regards to red next turn. So I like this line of play by Hyped. Very good setup.
So we see the Hourglass developing on the tree. As expected, you gotta maybe take the opportunity to get the tree out of here. I mean, this lane is just, it's kind of such a dead lane here for DrHippi. You can't really play anything. You're looking to set up the ability to maybe like play Stars, Time of Triumph on the right lane. Maybe, if you're DrHippi, you're starting to get desperate, maybe hoping that the Annihilation isn't there. If we had put the Cheating Death on the right lane instead, this would be a great blink right, Stars into Time. But, I mean, Cheating Death mid is just, it's not where it wants to be right now.
He does not overcommit to that lane in fear of Annihilation. We do know Hyped is running 2 copies as well of this instead of 3, but none of them have been played. And this could be a strong play on the week here if he wants to go for it.
Yeah, really big difference from Lumi's list. Hyped, Strife Crow, and Miss Ching Ching are all running 2 Annihilations, but that's because they have 2 identity costs. They replaced the 3rd Annihilation with 2 identity costs, whereas Lumi didn't have the identity cost supplementing that lack of AoE, which is kind of where you identified the problem with Lumi's deck.
Yeah, which was huge earlier on in this game on lane 1 there with Zeus.
So Hyped, thinking about his play here, he decides not to play anything proactively. It's still too early for Annihilation. He knows that nothing Axe could play is really particularly scary in terms of locking him out of options.
DrHippi does have several options here. He could try to go for Berserker's Call to finish off Kana with that melee creep. He could try to go for a Spring the Trap, which I see as a very likely
You gotta Spring the
play.
Trap here.
And yeah, I think that's probably what he'll opt to go for here. There it is on the mid lane.
I mean, this is the safe lane, but at the same time, this might be kind of overcommittal because right now, if you're DrHippi, what's your game plan of taking out one of these peripheral lanes? You have to pretty much push right lane, but this left is out of control. If Hyped has the ability to play for emissaries and praise, you will lose.
There is no gust for DrHippi, so if Ogre Magi is deployed on, and there's, okay, he just wants to thin here because Hourglass has been played.
That's huge. Finding the emissary this turn, it will be unlocked next turn left lane.
Oh, okay. All right, he does not blink. He stays there, and I believe we are going to see an Ogre Magi on lane 1, and you can just go crazy here.
Yeah, I mean, right now with Initiative, Hyped has everything he wants. He always has the ability to open with Gust. He has the ability to start with something like Prey on the Weak. You want to find the other copy of Diabolic Revelation right now if you're Hyped. That's very important. It enables it opens up your Prey on the Weak so much. It opens up, card drop potential. That draw might just win him the game on the spot.
The problem is it does not matter what he draws. We see Hourglass on Triad's Protector. So he has to work with his hand, which is a little bit awkward because he does not have enough of a board presence. There's no Ignite. This is like the one lane where there's no Ignite play. So you could have made an argument for placing the Ignite here instead because these Preys on the weak are doing nothing as of now. So he kind of he just gusts into Emissary of the Quorum, and that just does not push enough damage here.
Yeah, right now, Initiative right lane looking like it's going to be pretty important moving forward.
Yeesh.
Hourglass ticks in, and I mean, even when it unlocks his next turn, these draws aren't really what you want at all.
They aren't good. These are pretty much dead cards at this point, not really contributing much.
So DrHippi has a really, really powerful mid lane, and he's got the stars into Emissary on the Cheating Death. It looks like DrHippi's win condition has shifted. He's now going to go for an 80 mid, and I think he has enough time to make this work with the Hourglass just slowing down Hyped so much.
And this is the thing, he draws Emissary of the Quorum, but he doesn't have the mana anymore, so he can't even play the Emissary despite having Incarnation of Solemnity on this board, so he's stuck. Hyped is stuck.
Prey does nothing here. No damage units on this lane.
Nada. He has no... He can only annihilate himself. That's all he can do. Commit honorable Sudoku, and that is not what he wants to do here. He wants to win, and this is just looking very rough for him. This Ignite needs 2 turns to 50% of the time kill off Triad. So it's all of a sudden it's looking maybe this setup wasn't the best here.
Yeah, and that's not even happening. We see the stars into Emissary has to come out here.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just got to be the play, and you realize you have Cheating Death. Gonna take the pass. So it looks like DrHippi is committing himself out of this lane. He has Initiative and will go for a Berserker's Call. That's just lethal. There's no reason to go for mid. You've got it right here. Since you have...
Well, you sacrifice here.
You have the Stars Roseleaf Blink Dagger. That's lethal potential.
Yeah, Roseleaf, 4 damage and exact lethal. No, one damage over lethal on this lane, and now you just need to get that lethal on lane 2.
Yep.
Annihilation is a possibility for Hyped, who does have Initiative, so he can still fight this, but Cheating Death is a thing, so you need to have an extremely high roll here to not die, and this seems to be a rather dominating game for DrHippi. I think Hyped kind of ran out of steam there, and that Hourglass kind of sealed the deal for him as well.
This Hourglass is nailing him right now.
Yeah.
I mean, if there was any... He could be able to draw into a way to potentially try to win this game. Double creep spawn mid is the best thing possible here for Hyped, but at the same time, he needs to basically prey on the weak and hope he chump blocks enough. We are going to see the response by DrHippi's Time of Triumph if that happens, and there's no gust potential on Hyped. He's putting his Treant left.
The thing is, Triad can go down to this Ignite.
That's true as well.
Triad can go down.
With Initiative, the Zeus can even try to zap it as well,
potentially. If it's well positioned, exactly. Yeah, this is... You have to commit to this lane.
Hyped is going mid. I like this. This does give him the gust potential with Initiative. This could be huge. I mean, you have defense potential mid if you're Hyped.
Prey on the Weak may be his saving grace here. There's the Diabolic Revelation, but again, that Hourglass denying that play this turn.
I mean, these are
he hasn't been able to to damage any of these towers.
These are gigantic praise mid, though. Hyped could actually lethal mid almost this turn. I mean, you can play 2 Prey on the Weeks easily this turn.
You would like to have Drow alive, though, but in order to keep her alive, you have to give up initiative as well, and I'm pretty sure you don't want that if you're hyped. This is tough.
Yeah, not having access. I mean, you do need initiative here. Maybe his only hope is he's playing for initiative. I mean, I think you have to do it. It's possible he needed to bank on perhaps DrHippi's Treant dying to the Ignite and not having any way to capitalize on initiative on red.
DrHippi going for the Selim in his favor on the second lane. Going for the Blink Dagger, gonna get out. But if he blinks out here, which would be, he does. That enables Drow to stay alive, so the possibility of Prey on the Week lethaling here is even higher.
I mean, if Hyped is able to shut this down, so we see Gust into Sanctum into double Prey on the Week, that is gigantic.
That is massive. That is so strong. That could be really strong here. But then again, cheating death. All of these hounds are going to go down, but he does have. Oh man,
Magua, you want to see some justice in this world? It's actually in Hyped's benefit for these 2 creeps to survive with cheating death for the first Prey on the Week off of Zeus's passive.
Yeah.
Because you're getting more dogs on the second Prey of the Week.
But, the way cheating death has been working this tournament, they're going to die.
So, I mean, this is a really, really huge combo. Is this tower dying this turn? This is a lot of dogs.
It's a lot. I mean, that's like basically double his board presence. So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Right, 3. I don't think it's dying. It's extremely close. It might be dying.
I think it is. I think it easily is.
1 creep goes down?
I think it is.
That's got to go. I mean, this is just too good. Prey on the Week goes here. We're taking mid tower. We have to be. And then suddenly, all you need for Hyped is left. DrHippi needed to be able to find a way to take this mid tower, but Hyped has the defense.
Ooh, gonna opt to go for the Town Portal Scroll. And then Prey on the Week again. He must have done his math. Has he done his math?
Yep.
He has done his math. Over 1 point lethal on this tower. Hyped now threatening this lane. Only Axe is coming back here. He can double stack here. The Hourglass may not be gone.
And
the Hourglass isn't gone, though. That's a problem.
I love that sequencing, though, because TPing first allows your dog from the second Prey on the Week to fill the gap that you need.
I think Hippie has to obviously blink here. Blink to the first lane. See, the thing is, the lack. There is a Prey on the Week and a Diabolic Revelation, though. He has this into this. No Gust, though. So if DrHippi draws a Gust, he could slow him down.
I mean, he can do much more than slow him down at that point.
He can win.
DrHippi needs to find a way to stop this. He needs a Berserker's Call or a Gust.
I don't think Berserker's Call does it if he just doubles up on this lane. Well, it does if the Axe spawns in front of Drow, because the Berserker's Call would kill off the Incarnation of Salamene.
Incarnation needs to die here.
Oh boy,
Hyped may have another one. If you draw the other one, you won't be able to play it off of Hourglass. I mean, Hyped doesn't get top decks here. DrHippi does. His Hourglass may be clutch.
This game took a turn, and it got really interesting all of a sudden. It looked like it was just going really poorly for Hype, but he does have the option to win here. It really...
I mean, if DrHippi can defend this turn, this 1 turn left, he will win.
Exactly. He has to stay alive here.
Cheating Death is still blocking out Annihilation as an option for Hype
17 health, that's
Let's
so
see
scary.
those top decks. Time of Triumph and
Gust! Oh, the Gust! Oh,
so
no.
Hyped has 1 play to make here before he gets gusted out. And it's not going to be enough, right?
Regardless of... He may have to... He does have another Prey on the Week, though, so he may have to, like, try to stall this lane again.
But it's never going to be enough because Time of Triumph will come down. He doesn't... Hyped no longer has green mid, and there's no Gust potential.
Well, but if this goes down, though... If this goes down, then Time of Triumph is not enough if he can block.
That's true. That's true. The Treant...
And this.
And the Treant and the Drow need to die, but the Zeus can actually kill the Drow. It's possible Hyped can survive 1 more turn mid.
Oh my god, this is crazy.
Quorum drops. This is the best play if you're worried about a Gust. Quorum is the single best opener you can do.
This guy, like, he can proc her, though. He needs initiative here. He can proc her. And we're... Oh, my... Oh, he does? Wait, does he need initiative?
What are you playing for initiative for?
Yeah, that's true. Like, you need the things. Well, what if he has a way to kill off Zeus? Isn't that his only hero on the other lane?
Yeah.
So, yeah, initiative is important because if you had duel, for example, you could just deny him there.
Yeah, it does prevent the X from being able to blink because you are opening up the same lethal.
That's true.
DrHippi has the smash the defenses, which you can use on the middle lane, denying that Aghanim sent to him. Could be completely essential.
There's a pass.
You can Fountain Flask your Incarnation to try to keep her alive if this lane might matter next turn. If you're hyped, all you have to do is survive now. It's the opposite. DrHippi needed to survive left. He did it.
Now he needs to kill.
Hype just needs to survive. One turn in the mid lane.
Gotta equip all this over here.
We have initiative on the side of Hippie. 2 green heroes at 1 health each. One of them is right next to the Zeus. This Triad Protector needs to die. If the creep dies, the slide could happen.
It lives! Oh, it lives!
And the Drow lives as well. There's still a chance. If Hyped uses Diabolic Revelation, his creep next to the Zeus dies, but it's too late. The time of triumph comes out. There's nothing Hyped can do except annihilate. You have to. You have no choice. This is Mogwai. The odds are just not with you here.
But you gotta believe in karma. Cheating Death has done too much here. Oh my God.
Is there anything you can draw into for something like a Diabolic Revelation? He's taking the annihilation. He needs everything to die.
No, die. These 2 green heroes just will not go down. And DrHippi with the win. What a game right there.
I can't believe that was still game 1 of the series. That was really, really close.
That was ridiculous. That was actually ridiculous. Okay, so again, blue-green going down. Like, blue-green is just getting smoked today.
Blue-green kind of high-rolled in the group. I mean, blue-green is not a bad deck, but it did overperform in the group.
Yeah, I mean, I can see it here. That was intense.
And again, I'm going to have to personally talk to Hyped afterward and ask him why he switched off, because he was a proponent of kind of the Sella Mane-less version before this tournament.
And here we go. Game 2, ladies and gentlemen. Hyped is with his back against the wall. If he does go down here, he will be eliminated. DrHippi 1 win away from advancing to the quarterfinals to face off against Life Coach. Here we go. Zeus versus Lycan in the initial lane. No creeps to support Lycan.
Yep. See the duel in the hand on the side of DrHippi. He has the ability to kind of push the Treant out with that on the right side. Let's see if he takes it. Again, I think the more reserved duels are definitely going to be favored, but there is a time and a place for everything.
No initial plays for either player here. DrHippi is not Nyman, so he's not going to start the line to a cheating death. Turn 1. And let's see. Let's see what this Drow. This Drow, I mean, generally you either want to contest the Kana lane or you want to support Axe on third, I believe.
Yeah, typically. I really favor contesting the Kana lane here personally. Yeah. It looks like Hyped is going for it as well. The one downside here is you're not color spreading your green, but given this hand, it's okay to not play green in 3 different lanes.
We already see Incarnation of Suleiman in Hyped's hand alongside Thunder God's Wrath and one of his ramp components as well. So not, like when it comes to combo pieces, he has quite a few of them already. He just needs a bit of a early game support here. And Ignite, Ignite helps for that, and Annihilation is also a good card to draw.
Yep, so if you're DrHippi, you're going to zoom out and think about where you're going to be playing your Roseleaf Druid this round. It looks like he wants to go ahead and develop that mid. And as you mentioned, he's not Nyman. He's not going to try to Stars Line into cheating death this turn at all, it looks like.
Yeah, holding. I mean, right now, this is not too bad for him. Like, he gets to eliminate Zeus in this exchange, still has Lycan to support this lane, has not taken that much damage, and does have solid presence in this second lane. I really like Branches of Iron. It helps a lot holding down, and it's doing good work here against Kana.
Yep, we're probably going to have to see this Ignite being dropped in this lane. Ooh, going to go for the Ignite on the left side.
Interesting.
This is very interesting. This Ignite mid sets up a very powerful play on the Reek, which is kind of unanswerable.
He could take a duel here if he wants to, but duel is a very reliable resource, but he does have double Berserker's Call as well. So he does take the duel. Turn 2 duel. As much as I'm against turn 1 duel,
this is a lot better.
I'm fine with turn 2 duel. This also prevents ramp shenanigans, and it's solid. It also enables you to push damage on that third lane, which is already down to 29 and has an 8 strength, 8 attack axe right there. Yeah. As we see Reto Signet Rin and a Blink Dagger being purchased here by DrHippi. While Hyped still is poor. Poor guy. He can't buy anything. I mean, that's one of the perks of playing blue, right?
So Hyped is playing
Being humble.
Ogre left, and it looks like Hyped really just wants to fight for this left lane, almost no matter what. Even though everything is going on mid, we're still igniting left, putting Ogre left. Left is just kind of the place to be right now.
We see Legion going down, tripling down on lane 2.
Man, this ignite into prey mid would have been very, very good. You still have a very potent prey on the week. I think that's 5 dogs.
But if he draws another ignite, that would be amazing for him, as he draws into a second prey on the week and an unearthed secrets. Does have annihilation potential on this lane, but not really a play.
We are on mana 5 for DrHippi. We don't have Hyped. We don't have Hyped having a way to really stop the Lycan from casting, except for Gust, which you don't want to do. Which means presumably this is the turn where we see the cheating death being applied onto the middle lane here, which of course is just going to do a lot for DrHippi. I think at this point DrHippi is looking like he just wants to AD this tower. When you have this wide of a board plus cheating death plus 2 green heroes in a lane, there it is. That's just your strategy.
He's only missing Emissary of the Quorum here.
Or Time of Triumph. I mean, man, if he had either of those in his hand right now, that would be really, really disgusting.
Yeah.
There's the blink threatening the Ogre. You see no items in Hyped hand, so you go for it.
And there's no available. He's just
fighting for right lane. You know what? This is probably going to be a little bit better. This basically just applies more pressure, and you can even use the mana pool from the right lane as well.
Got to be careful, though, opening up to that first lane. Especially considering...
Especially against Storm.
Yeah, it's... With Incarnation Salamania and Thunder God's Wrath, this is, as you said, a strong prey on the weak here, which slows down DrHippi significantly. No damage onto this tower this turn.
Yep. So if you're DrHippi, you have a few different options. You can take a Smash the Defenses on the Unearthed Secrets. It might be better to save it, though, because right now there's nothing actually damaging this tower. You do also have the Salamania Favor that you can curve with it.
I like Salamania's favor because you can double. He opts not to do anything, but he could have doubled ramp here and here as well, and threatened with either Emissary or.
So it looks like DrHippi is taking a double pass for initiative, presumably so that he can maybe do something like Gust next turn if he's afraid of the Annihilation going through Cheating Death and wants to give himself the option to draw Gust.
So much damage on that third lane. We see Hyped immediately spawn onto there, not even trying to defend the 34 health lane here.
But DrHippi has the Berserker's Call. Is this what he was passing for initiative for? With mid, with right. He passed for initiative twice. Was he thinking 5 lanes ahead? I mean, predicting that both heroes would deploy right for defense, he doesn't have the Gust in hand. This was not what the initiative was for. Is he thinking this far ahead? The Zeus gets out of the axe range, though, which is really bad.
This is huge. If this Zeus spawned either here or here, that Berserker's Call would have been pretty much game-winning at this point. And here we go. The madness begins.
Thunder God's Wrath can come down as an option. How many are we going to see, Mogwai?
Oh boy, Ogre, for those of you confused, Ogre Magic can multicast this Thunder God's Wrath.
Multicast would be huge.
That would be devastating. That would be devastating.
Does not find it.
I think that's a little bit of karma, considering, you know, the cheating death rolls.
I think it's a sign that, yeah, there is definitely some karma going on here.
Because that would have been devastating. It still hurts, though, because I believe now the Berserker's Call, Axe will definitely go down, but it still is a very powerful call.
And DrHippi, yeah, we're just seeing him pass for initiative. He wants this initiative so badly.
Yeah, now because of that Thunder God's Wrath, this Axe will die to this Berserker's Call.
But, I mean, you got to take the duel on the Zeus instead, because the green just isn't your threat. If you take the call, then you get annihilated. He knows what his kind of lose condition is.
I love it.
He's playing around it very well.
No, I love that play right there. Does he? What other items does he have? He does have a healing salve, so he can preserve both heroes on this lane, which would be massive for him.
Well, you can lethal this lane. Hyped actually needs to Gust here to prevent the lethal. We have Stars align into Berserker's Call. Hyped sees it. This is really important Gust to take.
This is next level.
I love this Gust.
That's next level.
I mean, there's no reason to Gust here unless you expect your opponent to be able to just actually reach this lethal with 4 mana.
He could have also waited for Stars Align, but there's also other things he could do, like play a Celebrate in his favor in another lane. Like, there's several things that he could have done, and just taking the Gust there and denying any further play, I like that decision from Hyped. The fact that he's still alive here is huge.
This is it. This is the Thunder God's Wrath draw to end all of them.
Oh my god.
No heroes, DrHippi on the left side.
That would be
This
GG.
is it. This is what it comes all down to. Hyped has initiative. for 5 turns from, or three lanes from now,
Will he
Kana
draw
on the
it?
right lane, you need to draw
my
cards.
God.
Thunder God's Wrath, Initiative Steal on Arcane Assault, Sanctum
No.
Revelation. You have to draw on Revelation.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
enables dogs.
Yeah, exactly. You have
Revelation's
Diabolic Revelation.
very powerful.
Yeah, extremely powerful. Even if you don't find Thunder God's Wrath, this will enable you to create a massive board presence. You get 6 doggos on this first lane and
You
2
need
cards. Does he get it? Oh, and he gets the multicast.
He can do it again.
He
But
has another
the ogre
chance.
will die. He has to Fountain Flask the ogre
Yeah.
and keep fishing. I don't think there's a choice here. He needs to find that.
We see DrHippi go for the Potion of Knowledge here.
DrHippi just gave up initiative. I mean, that would have been huge. There's a consideration if you're hyped to just take the Annihilation at that point.
But Hyped is just too hungry. There's a Foresight.
It keeps
and another
multicasting.
Diabolic Revelation.
He can Foresight. The Revelation doesn't do that much here. He draws another Revelation. He found
He found it. He
both of them.
We didn't even see the first one.
Everything is dead. The Thunder God's Wrath are coming down. Everything dies immediately to the first one except for Lycan. This is an ultra kill Thunder Gods.
Mega rip. Here we go.
There
Make
it
it
is.
rain. Or zap, whatever. Board wipe here for Hype. This is the turning point. We've seen this before. Strife Crow versus Super JJ. This is a turn. If Blue-Green gets to do this, an entire turn in which you have no hero presence whatsoever with an Incarnation of Salamene and card draw still, this game is over.
This is
this
it.
game is
2
so
more heroes
over.
going down. That's it.
That is all she wrote. There's no way.
Rampage. And there's
What was that?
that's what they say in Dota, Mogwai.
Oh,
when you kill
sorry.
5 heroes.
Oh, I was heavily confused. Okay. Yeah, that's it. That's it. That is
I
absolutely
mean,
it.
that's a team wipe right there. So Kana can fend off this left lane, but if you're hyped, you still need a way to be able to kill left in 2 turns, Mogwai.
I mean, you got Diabolic Revelations, Prey on the Weak, and
I mean,
you know,
look at these
Arcane
draws.
Assault?
We're not finding emissaries.
It's true,
We
but
only,
I mean,
we only have 1 in Prey on the week.
you can play in Unearthed Secrets. You still have so much card draw. Unearthed Secrets. You can
It's-
Arcane Assault. I think.
you have the options. You should be able to get there, but it isn't 100%
exactly.
over
Yeah,
yet.
that's true. That's true.
Because Hyped only has 1 full turn to hit this Ancient.
And there's the multicast.
There's the Arcane Assault. Keep drawing. Keep multicasting. This ogre is
this
MVP.
ogre, yeah,
he's
he's-
going off. Is that again?
He
Did
is the smartest
Foresight,
ogre
We're
in
keeping
the world.
drawing. This is it.
Oh my God! This
Multicasting
is,
Foresight.
This is actually
it doesn't
disgusting.
Stop. Look how happy Hyped is. Look at that face, Mogwai. He's
It
ecstatic
is
right
the
now.
embodiment of joy.
There's the Foresight. Here we go.
Well,
Keep him coming.
I've never seen a bigger smile in my life.
Roseleaf Druid, get back up to 8 mana. Now we can Emissary.
There it is.
We got Prey on the Weak as an option. Unearthed Secrets to draw more.
This deck is fun for the guy piloting it.
Yeah. DrHippi not looking as happy there on that side. Actually, DrHippi looks happier than Hyped. I'm not gonna lie. But I mean, this emissary should be sealing it. I think with these draws, I mean, it is somewhat possible, but I do not think that Hyped won't be able to take this Ancient in 1 shot next turn.
I admire your optimism. I think this is clearly a wrap. Clearly a wrap.
Mago, I'm trying to pretend here, okay? Like I'm trying to make it like this game isn't over.
DrHippi may survive.
Yeah, exactly. Now, no, but you're right. He's
so screwed.
He's screwed.
So screwed. Dude, forfeit. What are you doing?
Mogwai, this isn't how you cast.
I'm sorry.
Okay, so we can talk a little bit, more about exactly the key moments of that matchup, right? Basically, you had the draws from Hyped, you had the ability to kind of get your comp off. He got his comp off extremely early, and we can see that basically representing a really high win rate for this deck. There's the conceit.
I mean,
down.
it's what I was mentioning earlier in the match. He had a bit of a late game hand, but he also had many components of the combo. He had the Incarnation of Salamene. He had. Why are you looking at me with
what?
Nothing.
So,
but
Mogwai, looking at you just makes me smile.
That's creepy. Yeah, thank you. So. Yeah, 1-1 there for Hyped and DrHippi, and that was one hell of a comeback. Again, it comes down to that turn in which you just can get that Thunder God's Wrath board wipe. That just pretty much game wins all the time. It's pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, being able to kill all those heroes. I will say, there was actually a bit of an opportunity for cheating death to save DrHippi in the middle lane off that first Thunder God's Wrath. He did lose both green heroes off the first one.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there was a chance for that to go in a very, very different direction.
But how many times has cheating death just cheated death? Like, I think that was about time, that didn't go,
Like 50% of the time.
I'm going to side with Suns fan here. I think it's been like 60 at least. But, that's just me, I guess.
Okay, so both players are, at this time, winding themselves down for this Game 3 of their series. These were two really close games
really
so far.
tight. This reminds me a lot of the Strife Crow Suns fan. Sorry.
Suns fan?
Sorry. The Strife Crow Super JJ series right there, which was my personal favorite up until now. It was the first series of this top 16, and it was pretty similar to this one. That big turning point with Thunder God's Wrath is definitely what defines this deck's comeback potential. So we're going to see if Hyped can repeat that performance or if DrHippi will seal the deal here, and this will be the final game of this series. And, Hyped is already queuing in, so DrHippi perhaps taking his time, recharging.
Yeah, it's okay. We can stall here forever. Okay, but I do think that specifically this is the last opportunity right now for this blue-green Salamene Storm deck to go through after the two others so far have been eliminated.
Yep.
Hyped is their last chance.
Yeah, I am certainly hyped for this matchup.
Mogwai.
Sorry.
What are you doing?
Sorry. I apologize. Anyways, here we go, folks. Here we go.
Okay, so let's get into this here. We have the Unearthed Secrets as an option from DrHippi. Gonna go ahead and use that into the Kana lane. When if you can develop it on, I mean, there's this choice of using it on the lane where Kana is in or using it on the lane that draws right away, right? Now, whenever you have both opportunities at the same time, you just go ahead and take that. That's gonna be great. And we're actually going to see, we're not going to see the duel yet on DrHippi's side, but as we can see, the Drow deploying next turn actually makes the Axe at 8 attack, dueling the Treant. So if you're DrHippi or if you're Hyped, you know that initiative mid might end up mattering a little bit here, locking the Treant out of a play option.
One of the key things about Unearthed Secrets onto Kana's lane is that it also may hinder a little bit your ability to contest it, right? Like, I mean, you can still contest it, but you don't want to miss out on value on Unearthed Secrets, right? So this also may telegraph DrHippi's deployment here as he's debating whether to try to contest lane 1 or go lane 2. I would personally develop Drow lane 2, considering he already has 2 green heroes to curve out into in turn 2, and he could potentially draw into like a Salamenish favor on top of that. So having a green play available on every lane, I think it's quite valuable.
Yep. You also do like the Drow being able to go into the Kana creeps as well. As mentioned, though, you might be locking yourself out of your Unearthed Secrets by doing that.
Yep. And down goes Drow onto the first lane for Hype right there, spawning right in front of Lycan. This Melee Creep is threatening Zeus, but is also, one static field away from just getting knocked out. And that could definitely happen.
Yeah, these Lycan creeps are scary. And as you mentioned, we see DrHippi drawing into the other Roseleaf Druid, so now he's got kind of this idea of color spreading, right?
Yeah.
A large part of positioning, especially in the early and mid game, like mana turn 4 and mana turn 5, how you're deploying comes down to your hand state. If you have a heavy green hand, look at all these green 4 mana plays, even this 5 mana one you want to do next turn, you want to spread out your colors so that you can kind of play for tempo, get your mana out early.
The question is, where will he deploy these Roseleaf Druids? Where does he want the ramp? I expect one of them to go down on this lane.
Mid is the safest place to play your Savage Wolf.
That's true.
So I actually think the Roseleaf Druids might be favored on the left and the right.
Yeah, they're good.
Right now, the only lane you can actually develop the Wolf. But at the same time, you're looking to play your Mist of Avernus. So I think that's going to have to represent one of your plays here for sure.
I like
Roseleaf Druid into that Zeus.
Into the Zeus, yeah, exactly.
Right there. And then you can Savage Wolf mid, and then take the Mist from right to somewhere else. And this is typically how you're going to play. Turn 1 on Artifact is usually like both players passing across. Maybe there's 1 or 2 plays. Turn 2 on Artifact is largely both players zooming out and thinking about how they want to redistribute the resources, right? Like turns 2 and 3 are all about distributing resources for maximum value, and then you start skewing into these like late game initiative and lane sacrifice plays.
Now, if you're DrHippi, does this Unearthed Secret on this lane encourage you to go for Mist of Avernus instead to prevent the card draw this turn, or do you still drop the Savage Wolf? Well, we see him dropping the Savage Wolf.
I think when you have the opportunity for the Wolf, it's probably worth it. At the same time, I mean, you are drawing your opponent 1 additional card.
But getting that snowball effect going on is definitely pretty valuable.
And it's the only lane you can ever play it from.
Yep. We may very well see the Rose Leaf Druid going down here, but you also like that Mist of Avernus too. So this is not an easy call to make here. These two plays are pretty good for their own reasons.
I think you've got to see the Mist of Avernus come down here.
Yeah.
The Rose Leaf Druid, it mostly stalls out a lot. It picks up the aura from the tree. But I think if you're DrHippi, you're actually not really playing for this right lane. Yeah. If you're not fighting the Kana lane by killing her units effectively, you're kind of trying to abandon it. You got to pick one or the other. And as we can see, he didn't deploy Drow here, which means he wants to fight really aggressively for the other two.
Yeah, drop that Mist of Avernus lane 1, which kind of telegraphs the fact that he's playing Legion on lane 1 as well and abandoning this lane, as you said. And we're going to see Unearthed Secret proc there for another Unearthed Secrets, which can be played on this lane too, because you have another incentive to abandon this lane as well with the Unearthed Secrets, and you can stack them here. Then you can use this lane as a resource to draw cards, fill up your hands, and work for a strong ramp on lanes 1 and 2.
Yep. So we see initiative being held by Hyped right now. On the mana 5, this is the turn where Cheating Death is going to be coming out somewhere, wherever DrHippi wants to. Presumably, he'll cast it left to mid. I think that's got to be the safest place for it. You could play it on left, from left, though.
I think, obviously, if he deploys Ogre Magi on this lane, the Cheating Death here is the play to go for. You counter a Annihilation following this.
Well, but at the same time, because you've got duel, if the Ogre goes mid, you could just bank on dueling the Ogre there and then Cheating Death left, which is kind of the more important lane to fight for.
But you do need initiative, right? I mean, not this turn, but even stuff like at any cost. Well,
at any cost isn't too bad, man. Yeah. Honestly, now that Ogre is right or Ogre is left, this is pretty simple for DrHippi. You really have to develop this Cheating Death in place.
Exactly.
It looks like there's nothing that Hyped can really do about this. If he takes an at any cost right away, it's a really, really big sacrifice, but it might be necessary to stop the Cheating Death from coming out. I mean, if you know that Cheating Death is going to be a huge threat, you've got to take this, right?
It's a hard call to make, though. Like it's hard to be like, okay,
Very
he has a Cheating Death, and I have to sacrifice my Drow and my Hound, and basically end up with a board state that has a stronger Legion Commander in presence with this, and the Mist of Avernus is still proccing. Like it's hard to, but at the same time, you have these two heroes incoming, right? So it is definitely. I mean,
once this Cheating Death comes out,
he's
that's
going
it.
for
He sees it.
And this is next level.
This is a great play. I love this.
This is like not the kind of play that's intuitive at all. This is a really good call by Hyped.
He knows that Cheating Death is a 3 of in hand. He's scared of it, and he's playing around it. It's kind of his lose condition in this matchup. If you can deny the Cheating Death, you are favored in this matchup. So we will see the Ogre falling prey to the Stonehall elites. But as you mentioned, he does have reinforcements coming down. He's got more heroes to play out.
And he's got that healing salve to preserve this Ogre Magi here and deny the growth, because this can be a threat if it gets going. So I think this justifies healing salve onto Ogre Magi here.
Yep. And DrHippi can play Cheating Death, could even play it from mid to left, but there's no green hero coming in. So you've got to blink the Drow. Do you think we see that? If DrHippi plays Cheating Death mid to left and then blinks the Drow left, I think Hyped just starts defending mid. Hyped will defend whichever of these two lanes the Cheating Death isn't on, because DrHippi has already given up right. That makes him a little vulnerable.
Exactly. He could defend mid, but he even if he blinks Drow out, he'll still have a big hit on that tower, dropping it below 20, and thus defending that lane will be more difficult. He still needs to get damage on this tower, so I like that line of play. I like the setting up the Cheating Death here and blinking here with Drow, potentially even blinking out the Triad from here. Like, you could also do that. You could also, obviously, it's low on health, but you could set up a Cheating Death from here onto this lane. Then you could play another Cheating Death on the second lane.
I think you've got to do that. I think that's exactly what you have to do.
And you blink out with Triad Protector. Like,
yep.
It's a bit more greedy, but what? Like, you've already seen what?
It definitely is the necessary play, and
exactly.
I think DrHippi sees that as well. We should just see a clean pass across with him making that same exact play. Cheating Death right to mid into that blink dagger, getting out, and you're not really vulnerable to anything. The Kana can't really do anything to disrupt this.
Exactly. Like, it's not like he's gonna at any cost her own lane, obviously. So yeah, there's especially now that you've seen the prey on the weak, you're like, I am, like sensitive with it. Get out of here, and just put that blink dagger over there and just get out of there. You play the Cheating Death here.
Mid, yeah. You've
mid.
got a cheating death up both of your lanes, and just the race is on at this point. You've given up right if you're DrHippi. You need to end this game fast enough, because giving up right is scary if you can't just be aggressive enough in the other two lanes.
Man, double cheating death though. So
He passes.
What?
He's staying here. No cheating death, no blink dagger. We're passing for initiative. He's playing for Gust. There's no green hero coming down, so it looks like the play is Berserker's Call. He's hoping that something goes in front of the Legion. She's got 8 attack and 2 retaliate, so the tree and the Zeus are both within range of her.
And this will enable the Stormhunter Elite to grow, as it's blocking it right now. So the Berserker's Call will enable this to keep on pushing damage on this lane. But I like this line of play too, because cheating death is always you're risking it, right? Especially considering that you're dropping a. And this is not Zeus' turn, but you're still dropping a 2 health unit on that lane, right? So you're really banking on the cheating death roll. So this is a more conservative approach here.
So I gotta say, it does look, however, like DrHippi changed his plan halfway through. He started off, and you could tell, he started off doing exactly what you said, Mogwai. He put cheating death mid to left and changed it. The problem with this is he doesn't have the cheating death here, no green hero deploying left. And Hyped sees this vulnerability. Look at this, deploying mid outside of the cheating death. If DrHippi had played his cheating death mid to mid, then done the play where he plays for initiative, that might have bailed him out. But now he's got no cheating death developed where the Drow is.
This may cost. I mean, he has played Terrain. He has to put Terrain Protector there as well, because DrHippi could opt to not sacrifice initiative here for the sake of being able to deny that play. So he has to. This Terrain Protector here is kind of a failsafe in case he can't annihilate. But otherwise, I would not be surprised to see annihilation, even with this Triad being here.
DrHippi's going to continue passing across. We have the Berserker's Call as the option on the axe. It's not going to be enough to kill the Tree and Protector, but it won't even be enough to kill the Zeus.
Yeah, those branches of iron coming in clutch going to keep Zeus alive by 1 health, and I still think you annihilate here.
Well, you have to take the Gust. DrHippi's passing left for initiative, giving up like the ability to pressure left just to be able to take this Gust, because the cheating death isn't here, so you have no choice.
Do you take Gust, or do you just cheating death on this lane with initiative? That's the question. Because if you Gust, you can follow that up with a duel. That's the difference, right? If you're cheating death, you would have to consume a Stars Align to duel. So, yeah, that's. I think this bail may have worked against him. I think it would have been more menacing if he had deployed those 2 cheating deaths, because that really discourages your opponent from annihilating.
At the same time, I mean, you can guarantee killing this lane with a Gust this turn, just by adding a little bit of extra presence with the Roseleaf Druid. I think that's what DrHippi's going for. I think we will actually see a commitment to this lane this turn. Stars Line into Roseleaf Druid into double blink on his heroes. If he plays the Roseleaf Druid on the left side with Stars Align, as we can see here to the creep, blinks both of his heroes to the left, he's still taking this tower this turn, guaranteed. That's very powerful. Left into the cheating death line, that looks really good.
That looks amazing, actually.
He sees it. He's got to go for this. Stars line into Roseleaf.
That line of play
perfect
looks,
lethal.
That line of play looks insane. Especially because when you develop a cheating death here, you got a Mr. Avernus proccing.
Yeah.
You're not vulnerable to annihilation.
You're not vulnerable. He's going for it. He sees it. This is perfect.
This is outstanding. This
Roseleaf
play is
Druid
outstanding.
on the left side, playing around the curve potential. There it is. 3 attack off of Drowzora. 12 for exact lethal.
Now blink, get the hell out of there.
1 blink, and you can even use the TP scroll instead of the other blink. Typically, Blink Dagger is better than TP when you're going from left to right, but if you're going from right to left, then they're effectively the same, so you can preserve your other blink.
You gain 5 health by using the TP scroll here. You lose 2 attack, but you gain 5 health, which makes your Drow more resilient. He keeps it there, though.
Looks like Drow's just going to stay here.
Yeah, I'm still fine with that.
It's possible this is for effectively defensive purposes, maybe keeping the aura alive.
Also being able to play improvements from that lane, potentially, if he doesn't get the kill here, because there's still a lot of damage he needs to push there. And oh my God, missing on lethal by 1. That feels
so bad.
That is terrible.
But there's unfortunately nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. Oh wow, that is devastating. This means that he can't threaten the Ancient here, so he has to focus his resources here. And we see DrHippi doesn't even think about it. He's going all in lane 1, cheating death. Denies the annihilation here.
Hyped needs to be able to find the Incarnation. If he has the Incarnation, he has this. He has the Gust. He has the Stars line. He has the Sanctum. Incarnation is the last combo. He finds it. There it is. We're going to open with Gust. We're going to go full combo here. Hyped has to do this.
What the? Wait. Again?
He's going off. Even though right lane is stalled for a turn, even though that's at 1 health. There it is.
There it is. The Sanctum so key. The Stars line, all the combo components, double card draw with Revelation.
Double
Prey
Revelation.
on the weak. Is this game over?
We're going to the Sanctum. all Hyped needs to do is win this lane. I think that might be it.
You are worthy of this power.
Oh my God.
He's got everything now. He's going up
He
to 9.
doesn't need anything. He just needs perhaps like another Thunder God's Wrath, but he has double card draw here.
The revelations will be huge for him. He needs to be able to find almost anything off of these. Roseleaf
He has
Druid
the Roseleaf Druid.
before Revelation, adding more
and
damage units.
he already has an Emissary of the Quorum, and you got the Obliterating Orb, the Lumi. Is that in his deck? He
No,
got that from
it's
the
not.
Secret Shop. That's hilarious.
You got to play the Roseleaf Druid here. Taking the Revelation before the Roseleaf Druid.
That's
You're getting the damaged unit off of the second Revelation, so you can play the Roseleaf Druid here, get the damaged unit, and leave it at a higher health threshold.
Yeah, I mean, that's true, because you only need it to be damaged once, so... And that's the thing, if you go for another one here immediately, then you lose this creep right here. So you gotta sequence right.
Exactly. I think we should see lethal on this tower.
Oh my
This 37
God.
health is going down this turn. It has to be.
There's Brow, there's Prey on the Weak, there's an Emissary of the
Thunder
Quorum.
Gods to spawn 3 more dogs. Here's the Druid.
There it is.
So we can see the Revelation coming out now.
My God,
it does
the
kill one of
comeback.
the creeps. So you Prey on the Weak. You could Thunder Gods before Prey on the Weak. I think he's done the math and realizes he doesn't need that damage because Thunder Gods before Prey on the Weak just gives you so many more dogs.
Oh my God. I didn't even... He drew another one just now, right? Because I didn't see it. He had 2 emissaries. He must have drawn that now with the dabble. This is huge. Oh my Lord.
Yep. And I mean we are just going off here. There's just nothing DrHippi can do about this. Double emissaries are being tapped. I mean, Hype does need to have this.
He's still missing 11 damage though.
Yeah, he had the opportunity to sequence a little bit differently there. I mean,
Yeah.
he still has this, right?
But he missed out on quite a few doggos there.
He missed out on a lot of doggos.
Yeah.
He has to take the Revelation at this point. It looks like the sequencing could have been done slightly better.
Oh,
Arcane Assaults and Diabolic are still options.
Gonna have to play that there, but okay, this Diabolic Revelation still draws him 2 cards. He also has, and there's the forfeit from Dr. Hippie. Hyped with the comeback win. From the jaws of defeat, a blue-green Storm deck makes it to the quarterfinals. The savior of Salamene, Hyped, facing off against Life Coach next round.
Yeah, that should be pretty exciting. Life Coach will have another chance to take on that deck yet again.
Oh, he's looking forward to it, I'm sure. All right, what do you guys think about that incarnation? I'm pretty sure Suns fan loved that.
Suns fan.